A writer writes in a question about vegans who are too thin. Dear Dr. Klaper, I watched a video posted by The Real Truth About Health entitled Vegan Nutrition Pure and Simple, and where I mention on my website that I have a video that addresses vegans who are too thin. Actually, that was part of a video available on my website called Thriving on a Plant-Based Diet, and it goes into the ins and outs of vegan nutrition. And so I urge you to go to my webinar section and check out Thriving on a Plant-Based Diet. But since you've asked, let me give you the answer regarding vegans who are too thin. A lot of this is just constitutional. They have a digestive system that might be a little less efficient at absorbing fats and proteins. In a way, of course, it's a blessing in disguise because these people will never struggle with obesity and type 2 diabetes and all the inflammatory problems that come with carrying too much body fat. But meanwhile, they are at higher risk for things like osteoporosis because they're so lean that they ask so little of their skeletons that the osteoblast cells in their bones that make new bones aren't stressed very much by their body weight. And this is why petite vegan women often have low bone density because they just don't ask that much gravitational support from their bones. So what needs to be done? The name of the game is not to increase your body fat tremendously, but you do want to increase muscle mass and healthy tissue on the body. So basically, realize that one of the things that makes a plant-based diet so desirable is its high fiber content. All the soups and salads and greens, they certainly help the colon create nice, healthy bowel function and keep your cholesterol down. But they are mostly fiber and water, the dark leafy greens and the salads and the soups. And if you fill your belly up with the soups and salads and greens, well, there really isn't a lot in the way of substantial nutrients to turn into muscle. So these are the people who need to tip their balance towards more nutrient-dense foods. The whole grains, the beans, the lentils, and other legumes, nuts, nut butters, seeds, etc. You don't have to go crazy over this, but where the person who is overweight or obese and is trying to lose weight, they need to tilt their diet way towards the high fiber and water content foods. They need to eat lots of salads and keep those bellies full of vegetable soups, clear broth based, and dark leafy greens, etc. So that's the weight loss fiber mix there. The skinny vegan who needs to put weight on needs to go to the other side and make sure that every mouthful really counts. So you want at least one leguminous feature every day. And when I say a legume, that's anything that grows in a pod: beans, peas, chickpeas, lentils. So pretty much every day you want something made with legumes, a scoop of or two of lentil stew, a hummus sandwich made with chickpeas, a big bowl of bean chili, a hearty bean and barley vegetable soup, something like that. You want at least that once a day. And if you're really trying to gain weight, then I would have a handful of nuts pretty much every day, especially walnuts. You can eat them directly, and the important thing is chew them well. So you present your digestive system with tiny, tiny little fragments of nuts where it's easy to extract the proteins and fats out of the nut fragments. So you don't want to do two chews and a chunk of walnut goes down there that your digestive enzymes really can't penetrate. So if you're trying to gain weight, thorough chewing is really, really important. And then there's the old classic weight gain smoothie, where every afternoon whip up a smoothie for yourself. And while that blender is going, and you can be generous a bit with the fruits, some bananas and peaches, mangoes if you'd like there. But while that blender is going, I'd throw in a couple of tablespoons of walnut butter or almond butter, You might consider a scoop. I'm not a big fan of protein powders per se for muscle building, etc. And too much of those, even the vegetable-based protein powders, can be injurious to the kidneys. Now, all those amino acids slam into the kidney filter membranes. I'm not a big fan of that. But while that blender is going, if you wanted to put in 20 grams of a tablespoon or so of a protein powder, that's a good idea. And they have some liquid multivitamins or powdered multivitamins. Might want to throw a squirt of that into the blender. And so you're giving yourself, you've turned this smoothie into a really dense mixture of proteins from the nuts and the protein powders, fats from the nuts and the seeds, and the vitamins and minerals. And when you make the smoothie, don't chug-a-lug it down in 2 minutes. That's not the idea. Again, that's too much protein to slam into your kidneys. You take a mouthful, put the glass down, chew it up, mix with your saliva, swallow it, wait 10 or 15 minutes. Let it get down into your stomach and out into your duodenum and start to get absorbed before you take that next mouthful. So at a minimum, drink that smoothie over an hour. And really 2 hours, all afternoon, just take a sip of it from time to time and just drizzle it in over the course of the day. So you want to do that. That's a weight gain smoothie. That's then we talked previously about migrating your diet to the more nutrient-dense foods. You definitely should have a salad every day. But again, those dense things, the sweet potatoes, the quinoa, casseroles, the flour products, again, not good for weight loss, folks, but if you're trying to gain weight, a sandwich made with manna bread or Ezekiel bread, some of these dark breads there with some nut butter and a little jelly on there, that would be a good idea as well. So you want to make every bite count, keep those nutrient-dense foods going in, and then turn it into muscle with a good long walk every day. If you're really lean, as I mentioned, you're at risk for osteoporosis. So it's a great idea to combine the weight gain calorie and protein intake with an exercise program. And as I mentioned on my video Healthy Bones and in other answers that I've created for this section of the website, it's that repetitive, steady, stressing exercise that really builds up the bone. There's nothing like putting on a lightweight vest, weighted vest, 8 pounds or so, grab a couple of 3-pound hand weights and go for a nice 20, 30, 40-minute walk every day. That is going to build bone. How? Well, there's 1,000 steps in a mile, and every time you walk a mile with the weight vest and the little hand weights there, every step, 1,000 times a mile, that weight goes up and then it goes down onto your spine. The little gravitational wave goes through the vertebrae bones and your hip bones and your thigh and your leg bones. And these cause just the ever slightest bit of micro distortion of the bone substance, but that's enough to wake up your osteoblast cells in those bones and say, hey, we need you to spit out some more new bone. And the bone cells, boy, she's using us. Let's spit out some more new bone. And that will take the calories that you've consumed from your weight gain smoothie and that sweet potato, so you have those before you go out for your walk, and then go out for that nice walk and incorporate all those lovely dense nutrients into your bone structure and of course into your muscle structure, and that's how you create a healthy body. And you're probably never going to be a muscle rippling bodybuilder, but you don't need to be there. You just want good strong muscle mass so you can get up out of a chair, go walking up the hills, and you'll have a nice lean healthy body that'll last you for a nice long lifetime. So hopefully that covers the issue regarding vegans and weight gain, but I invite you to go to my video Thriving on a Plant-Based Diet and learn more about trace minerals and how to do plant-based nutrition right. Dr. Michael Klaper here, and I want to thank you for visiting my channel and for watching this video. I've got a lot more content that I'm creating to answer health-related questions for you, my viewers, so please subscribe to my channel down here. And if you found this video helpful, please like it and comment on it. Thanks for helping to spread the word about the power of whole food, plant-based nutrition to heal both people and the planet.